Good morning, people. Another morning where I've woken up really quite early. I suppose over a period of time, I've been waking up various times 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not sure the reason why for that really at this moment in time, but once I'm awake, I'm awake. So yesterday, I done another recording, which should have gone out by now, but as life can get quite busy, because I'm awake now, I thought I'd do this now really, because I know I'm going to be awake for a few hours, and I know this is not proper, but I've made myself a cup of coffee. So this recording, I'm going to call it a testimony update, post-awakening. But particularly this morning when I woke up, I'm thinking that all the things that I've experienced during this awakening, and I know possibly that we're on different timelines, but you know, one day is good, 2 days is good, third day mediocre, so it's really quite up and down. Post-awakening, I'm not as doubtful, fearful as I have been previously, but there's clearly a reason why I keep waking up at these times in the morning. Sometimes it's 11 o'clock, and it's very rarely or very rare that I'm able to go back to sleep. So whatever's going on within my system, it's not reached my mind yet, but my body is probably trying to tell me that something's on the way. This morning, I woke up early again, and I was out early because I had to go and pick up a friend up, and I went and done some shopping. But before I actually went, I went to the barber, and I met this woman who had a onk on her ears. So we started talking, expressing some experiences and stuff, and we exchanged numbers. But she was telling me that she's been on a journey for quite some time, and quite a lot of people think that she's crazy. And I find that really quite sad. That, this person's on her own and she's carrying all this heavy noise around her from other people. And she's really quite unsettled that people think that she's not quite right. And I suppose this is where we tend to talk to people that have no idea about what is actually going on in terms of the awakening, or actually what's going on in the lives of those people who are determined as chosen. We're all having our own experiences, but I can only imagine in the experiences that most of us are having is in isolation. And when you're in isolation, you probably feel a bit more heavier than you would do if you were in a group. Now for me, I don't perform too well in large groups. And particularly where I am currently living now, I don't feel able to put myself out to belong to a group. I tend to perform better when I'm on my own, but I have pockets of individuals that I can communicate when I choose to do so. But post-awakening, and this is for those individuals that are going through their awakening process at this time, but not got to the point where I believe I am, and I think I'm in my 4th or 5th season. I have shifted so many times I've lost count. And as I've said, I am not as doubtful and fearful as I have been in the past. In fact, I'm really quite calm. And that's, for me, that is good. But I know there are people that are not in my situation at this time in terms of my calmness and how I'm actually feeling. But the awakening process, to be clear, it's not easy. And I've made this statement quite a few times. It's not easy. And my heart goes out to those people that are not having a particularly good time at the moment. But just to say, if you're able to, stay the course, because it will get better. It will get better. But in this testimony update, post-awakening, I've pinpointed a few areas that maybe people may need to concentrate on just to stabilize themselves in terms of some of the things that we do experience during awakening. And this is only my interpretation of what's going on with me. With you, it might be different. But I'm going to start off with synchronicities. Synchronicities are such that you might be thinking about something and it just comes up on your phone. And then from your phone, it might come up with other things that relate to your mindset at the time. And I think synchronicities are really quite amazing experiences when they happen, because synchronicities might come up on your phone, and it might come up on a television program that you're watching. Somebody might come up and say something to you in the community. It's really quite amazing in terms of the way these synchronicities happen, and they're already there really for your own good, for whatever's going on with you at that time. Synchronicities are not even time. I don't know what I was going to say time limited for, but when I've had synchronicities, they've actually been useful for me at that time. So take advantage of the synchronicities when they come, and it's really quite important that when you do get synchronicities, that you take just stop for a little while and try and establish what the synchronicities are trying to say to you, because they are really quite relevant. For instance, for me, I was really tired of the music that I'd been listening to, and all of a sudden it's on my phone, and I didn't key this in. I hadn't looked at anything of this type before in terms of music, and what came up on my phone was gospel soul music, and and that's what I've been listening to now for the last maybe couple of months. So every day, for some reason, I get a new album or playlist on my phone, and that's what I listen to. And it's calming, it's soothing, it's I can only imagine that it's come from the universe because, you know, whatever I'm feeling, it comes up on my phone. So Psalms, loads of stuff, So, sometimes it's just about going with it, really, and trying to get yourself out of a poor mindset. Is probably what I'm trying to say. Another one for me is angel numbers. Angel numbers are also really quite important. Excuse me. Also really quite important. I've been getting 555, 444, 333, 222, 336. There's thousands and thousands of angel numbers. But when you get an angel number, you must look it up because they're really quite relevant, and it gets you into a particular mindset once you've read it, and the mindset that the angel numbers get you into is really important in terms of your transition through your day or transition through a certain period of the day, you know. And angel numbers is also really quite lifting in terms of your spiritually. It's really quite lifting. So, another thing about angel numbers as well is that when I look at my phone or whatever, and there's a number, I get a nudge to tell me that that's an angel number, and that's really quite bizarre as well. Really, the way that happens. So I find that angel numbers are really quite important, and they're obviously they're actually come up for a reason. So try and have a look at it. Try and take that on board, and and if you're able, when you get an angel number, look it up straight away because it's relevant for that time that you're in. As I said, to change your mindset or to lift you in terms of your spirit. So you know, take that on board. I've got and this is another one also really, the belief in your experience. You know, the woman I was talking today, she she said that she's spoken to quite a few people, and these people that she's spoken to have told her that she's not quite right in their mind. And for somebody to turn around and tell you something like that can't be nice. It must play on your mindset, and it must be playing on her mindset because she actually brought it out in terms of the conversation that we were having. So this is really quite important. Don't try and convince people about your experience because, and I know it's difficult because, once you've had an experience, you want to express that. You want people to, or your friends or family, if you're getting on with your family, to know what you're actually going through. But for your friends and family to turn around and say that you're crazy or you're losing it is not helpful. So you have to be choosy about who you express your experiences to, because obviously be told that you're going crazy is not good. But people are having this experience. There's more people now having this experience than there ever has been. So over time, the awakening process is going to become more known than it is now. Which brings me again to mental health. Don't express things, or try not to express things, to people that are not going to understand, and in their expression to you makes you feel that you are not coping, or that you are, you know, having a mental health concern in terms of your functioning throughout your life, because it's not funny. And I know it's really quite difficult to keep things back, but in terms to preserve yourself until the time is probably better for you to express yourself in the open, walk in silence in terms of your experience. And I know that is difficult, but this is about protection of yourself. And I know this one is, and I'm going to talk a little bit here, and I've got my head in here, and it says, you are loved. You are not alone. And you're not alone. And I'm talking energetically here. You have Source. You have your spiritual team. And I know that the spiritual team and even Source are not physical, that you can actually express yourself to as an individual. But if you rely on Source, your angel, your spiritual team, they will take you through periods of dullness, periods of heaviness in terms of your experiences. Try communicating more with Source, your spiritual team, and see what happens, because your spiritual team, Source, God, the universe, the creator, whatever you want to say, will take you through difficult times. Yeah, another one here. Believe in God, the universe, Source, the creator, as I've just said. Without that belief in terms of your experience, the awakening process is going to be made difficult. Source would say it only takes a mustard seed for you to progress within the awakening process. I have evidence of my experience, and my experience is real. And the more people that I come across in terms of their own experience, and I'm coming across a lot more people these days. Today I had to go and take a t-shirt back to a shop in Mandeville, and I started talking to one of the shop assistants who, and I'm not sure how we got onto this conversation, was saying that she's looking for a relationship because she wants to get married, and she's a Christian, and that her faith is really quite important to her, but she is going out with somebody at the moment, but she's not sure if this person is the person for her. And the only thing that really went through my mind at that time is that, she was talking to me about something personal, but at the same time, I needed to say to her, don't rush the process, because if you rush the process, then obviously you're going to make mistakes. And she was asking me about my beliefs, but it wasn't the time to actually stand and talk to her about my own experience and how I feel in terms of my religion. Because to be quite honest with you, I do not see myself as religious, but I see myself going through the awakening process, which can be based on religion, but it's not necessary to be religious. But you have to believe in your experience. You have to believe in the creator, in God, in Source, the universe. The most important thing out of this, what I've just said, that list, is that you believe in your experience. That is vital. Supernatural events is really plentiful. It's a lot that goes on within the awakening process. You are not crazy. It's an experience. And I'm not going to talk about my experiences either in terms of supernatural experiences, but just to say to you, that my experience supernaturally, for me, is real. And my supernatural experiences that I've experienced, that I've had, that I continue to have, is led me to where I am now. And I have to take that on board. Because I believe in my experiences. I hold them tight to my heart. Because if it wasn't for me believing in terms of my experiences, I'm not sure where I would be now, really. You know, I've made several comments in terms of belief in terms of where you are now. This site is full of my experiences. You are quite welcome to go back or to have a look through the list that I've done. I think I've done something like 86, 87 recordings in terms of my experience, because I need to record this, because I want people to know that they're not on their own, and they're not on their own having an experience that is not particularly well known throughout societies. But this experience is real. The experience that you're having is real. Whispers. Whispers are also real. But you get whispers from the universe, and you also get whispers that are demonic. Mostly for people that have been on this journey within the awakening process will understand full well in terms of what whispers are. If you are new to the awakening process and not had the experience of a whisper at this moment in time, then you will do. And the only thing I can say to you at this moment in time, that whispers are real. You get whispers from the Creator, and as I've said, and also demonically, which then goes into spiritual warfare. And that's what I keep saying, is that the awakening process is not an easy process. You have to look after yourself. You have to make sure that you get plenty of sleep. Eat well. Look after yourself. Yeah, look after yourself. I've got here also, be calm where possible. But what you will find is that your energy, your light is really difficult for other people to take on. And at points throughout your awakening journey, people will vent their anger at you. Ignore and go about your business if you are able to. Don't retaliate, because if you retaliate, that's about showing your anger, and in showing your anger, you are letting low density people into your aura, That's the best way I can say that, really. So where possible, and I know it's difficult, remain calm. Remain calm. And move yourself away from the situation. Divine appointments are energetics, or energetically are also real. For me, divine appointments can take on different forms, really. You know when you are having a divine appointment, it's really quite, it can be strange, but and this is a part of the awakening process that is difficult to express. And I think at this moment in time, I'm just going to say that divine appointments are real, and that when they happen, listen, experience, and whatever the divine appointments request of you, just carry it out, really. Just carry it out. I think that, and I'm probably going to say this twice, having a channel on social media can lead chosen into difficulties with family members, with people who are trying to hold you back. So it's about being choosy in terms of your communication on social media, because social media, like for me, I'm just laying myself out bare for people to be critical of my experience, and they're quite welcome to, because we all have our own comments to be made on whatever situation that you'll actually be dealing with at the time. But expressing yourself on social media is giving people ammunition, if that's what they're looking for, to say that you are not right. So be careful. I am quite strong in my aura, in my personality, and I don't mean strong in terms of manipulation of other people. I'm quite strong in myself, for myself, to express myself on social media, or to carry out my daily activities in whatever way, shape or form that presents itself. I am quite a strong individual. And where it comes to my experience, I absolutely believe that I am having an awakening experience. For me, I've found definitions that I can express who I am in terms of my personality. Now, in terms of the awakening process, I know the awakening process for me is real. So I am persistent in terms of taking my experience forward, and I am endurance. I will have a bad day, for example, and I will bounce back the next day with with determination in order to figure out what that experience is, which is why I'm still here, is that I need to understand what is going on with me. And, and in that understanding, I have determined for myself, my experience is real. I'm not fighting against my experience because it's real, absolutely real. So I've got here persistence, endurance, and I've just got here explain my journey, explain my experience, trust in you, like I trust in me, trust in you in terms of your experience, faithfulness. You have to have faith in yourself, faith in the communication that you're getting from the universe. Another thing here, gratitude. I don't always do this on a daily basis, but in the morning when you wake up and you pray, and after you pray, try and give 3 examples of how grateful that you are. And in doing so, keeps you grounded. So I've got faithfulness, gratitude in terms of my learning throughout this process, because the universe has directed me in ways, positive ways, that I could never have determined or carried out on my own fruition. And I'm being serious. I can't express that enough. I am deadly serious that I am having, and I'm going to say here, I am having, although difficult, a positive experience. So we are 32 minutes in, and I don't usually like recording after half an hour, but I'm going to finish this one. And just to say also that I use an iPad in order to do my recordings, and I know that my storage is really quite full, so if this just stops, I apologise. But daily prayer is important in order to keep up with the universe and what the universe is requesting of you. Again, attitude keeps you grounded within the process. And these 2 headings here, integrity and authenticity. People, it's so important that you are true to yourself in terms of the awakening process, because if you say that you are something that you're not, it will come out within the process. It will come out. So integrity and your authenticity is vital, that you stick to what you're saying about yourself, or you stick to what you say you will do, because it is really quite important. Very important, not quite, very important. I've wrote this. In fact, this was part of a channeled message, really. And what I wrote was, chosen one, or chosen ones, you have the ability to go forward. You have your mission, your purpose. You have been called. You have been chosen. And you will not return from where you have come from. This is the day heaven has marked you with fire. Let this be the moment that shifts everything for generations. Because going through this awakening process, it's not just about you. It's about your family. It's about your direction. It's about where you are. It's about your destination in terms of your life. So you have to have grit to move forward independently from people who think that you are crazy or you should be hospitalized, or the family member that has gone to your doctor to tell your doctor about you, because this happens. This happens. Be strong in yourself. Move forward. People who think that you are crazy, it's just their opinion. If you are functioning right within the community, you're getting on with your day, and you are happy within yourself to an extent, and I can't think of anybody that is actually really happy with themselves. So this is normal. Be you. Be you. Remain aligned with the universe. The universe will keep you safe, but you have to do what you have to do for yourself also to keep you safe. It's a two-way process. No going back. No going back to those people who are holding you back, who want your energy, who are taking your energy for granted. Stand up and be counted for yourself. Do what you need to do to keep on track and going forward. And this is about forward movement. Absolutely about forward movement. So please, people, this is your life. The universe is talking to you. Not your brother, not your sister, not your father, not your mother, not your friend down the road. This is your experience. Your experience. Before I go, just a reminder that I've created this channel based on my experience and to express the experiences that I'm having within this awakening process. This awakening process is real to me. I've come across people who are having the same or similar experiences to me, which then makes my experience real. This is my reality, just like it is your reality. Do not depend on people that are going to make fun of your experience. Don't allow people to do that to you. If you know that what you're going to say to an individual or to a group of people that is going to lessen your experience in terms of their comment made to you, don't say nothing. Say nothing. You don't have to express yourself to other people. You don't have to. Eventually, you will come across people who are having the same experience as you, eventually. And what you're probably going through now is a learning process. And this is what I have determined for myself, that the awakening process is like going on a college course. It's about you and your experience in life, and it opens your eyes to what reality really is. for today. I'm done for today. I shall be back soon. But please, people, keep yourself safe. I love you. You take care. Bye-bye.